Welcome to Thursday. It's the 29th of April, 2021. Well, we're going to enjoy some beautiful weather. It is just going to be really quite nice. Both sides of the divide, mountains and plains, no matter where you are. If you haven't had spring fever yet this spring, you're certainly going to catch it, as it's just going to be absolutely gorgeous today, tomorrow, and a good chunk of Saturday. Then we'll have some changes. In the meantime, enjoy some warmer temperatures. Now, we're going to also discuss with this podcast more definition on who's wet and who isn't not wet. As we talked over the last couple of days about areas getting wet and some areas not, well, we've got some graphics here that'll highlight that for you. Now, we do see a front bringing cooler temperatures and a chance of precipitation starting in some areas late Saturday and especially Sunday through Tuesday. Cooler weather coming during that stretch and more needed precipitation for some of you. Expect ups and downs as you'd expect as we leave April and head into May. But the ups look really good, I'll tell you that, and we're experiencing that right now. Right now, here we go. We've got this big area of high pressure over California today that's going to grow and expand eastward, bringing warmer, drier air into the desert southwest. This upper level low here is going to meander along the Gulf Coast and into Texas, producing some showers and thunderstorms, but that system is done with us. So I'm going to step through what the forecasted high temperatures are going to be here over the next 3 to 4 days. So the numbers you see is what the computer modeling thinks the high will be for that day. So you can see that this is for today. 60s and 70s, very common over the Rockies and the high plains, starting to get really warm. Look at those temperatures in the Central Valley of California there, down into the deserts of Arizona and California, really starting to build up some heat. Even some 80s. Look at this, into Washington and Oregon, some really warm weather there east of the Cascades. Well, that warm weather expands, and you can see, look at the Snake River Valley into Idaho. Look at these temperatures in Montana, South Dakota, northeastern Wyoming, and North Dakota. Getting into the 80s tomorrow with 70s elsewhere. As we get into Saturday, you can see there's a shift Saturday of the really warm air into the plain states with a core of 80-degree temperatures here in this red area, really warming up across the Dakotas, Nebraska, eastern Colorado, eastern Wyoming, and getting very warm into Colorado's western slope and into parts of Utah. But you can see some blue up here. This is because of the advancing trough that's coming our way. So by Sunday, you're going to notice a pretty big drop. Look at Saturday. Look at all the red. For Sunday, look at all the blue and the yellow. So we're going to cool off pretty significantly Sunday into Monday. Now, nothing dramatic, but certainly nothing like what we're going to have here today, tomorrow, and Saturday. Then we cool off as we get into Sunday and Monday. Because of this guy right here, a rather disorganized trough of low pressure, but nonetheless one that's bringing instability and moisture into the region, and we will see some showers and thunderstorms with it. However, behind it, we have another high pressure ridge, and this is going to be building in the Wednesday through Friday time frame of next week. So Sunday through Tuesday colder. That's when we're going to see some showers and thunderstorms. Then temperatures rebound sharply again. And this is one of these situations where temperatures will likely go right back into the 70s and 80s. So don't fret, although it will be colder and unsettled Sunday through Tuesday. It's not a long-term trend. This is what we want to do now, is go back in time a little bit and talk about the precipitation that has fallen over the last 30 to 60 days. This gives you more detail on the rain event that came in Monday and Tuesday. It shows you the Sunday, Monday rain that fell across portions of southern Montana, northern Wyoming, and western South Dakota. Then the secondary system that brought that really heavy rain to far southeastern Wyoming, northeastern Colorado, and western Nebraska. Yesterday, we showed you the radar images. This shows you a more, let's say, bird's eye view of the region and how much precipitation fell with that storm system. And you can see this area did really well. What's really interesting is this was kind of the bullseye of the March storm. This is the bullseye of the April storm. So what you end up getting is areas that get richer and other areas that get more poor. And if you were to take a look at the last 30 days, if you were to average the precipitation that has fallen, compare that to the 30-year average for what usually falls, using the 30-day average for precipitation, anywhere you see brown or red, the 30-day average accumulated precipitation has been below average. Anywhere you see green or blue, it's been above average compared to the 30-day normal. And yesterday we talked about islands of wet. And you can see over the Black Hills, northeastern Colorado, southeastern Wyoming, up here into southern Montana and into the Bighorn Basin areas of Wyoming. Now, these are 3 islands here over the last 30 days that have had some above average precipitation, which is what you got to have to take some chunks out of the drought. But look at west of the divide. Look at western and south central and southwestern Wyoming. Look at western Colorado, southern Colorado, Kansas, back into the desert southwest, back into the Pacific Northwest. I mean, this is a huge area of dryness where the drought is at its worst. So there's been help here in these little green islands over the last 30 days. But you can see we got a long way to go. Now, let's go and compare the last 60 days. And this is important because the 60-day period is going to include the big March storm. And if you look, this is where we say the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, because there's an overlap. Here's the last 30 days. Here's the last 60 days. So for the last 60 days, the areas that have seen help in the drought are the same areas that have seen the help in the drought the last 30 days, the same particular areas. So this area here is still, in many areas, still in a drought situation. And you can see that things have gotten better. And certainly the last couple of months is going to help in these areas here with rangeland conditions and elsewhere. But this is really, if you were to look at the whole western United States and the western high plains, the larger percentage of the area is still suffering from drier than normal conditions. North Dakota, eastern Montana, parts of northern and eastern South Dakota, and then again along and south of I-70 and west of the divide. Notice how poor the west of the divide has been. And if you notice, if you're a keen observer, these big spring storms have been upslope storms, and that's why areas east of the Continental Divide have gotten the precipitation. But west of the divide, we just have these pockets here, some very small pockets of heavier precipitation, but areas are still dry. And if you take a look at the whole country, this is over the last 60 days, you can see a little bit more of a bigger perspective. These are the areas that have been really helped out from an agricultural perspective. These areas definitely getting a shot in the arm. But look at Iowa. You know, this is something that we got to watch. That is an area that continues to dry out. So does the Great Lakes and the northern and northeastern Corn Belt. So for agricultural purposes, we've got to watch these areas as well. The southern plains and areas west of the divide get the big D for dry conditions continuing. Now, here's the latest Drought Monitor released this morning. It does not look like this Drought Monitor included the rain that fell earlier this week. So next week's Drought Monitor may look a little different in that area. However, you can still see all the red here. And as we just highlighted, you can see why they still are red. And this area right here is expanding in its dryness. So a lot of moving parts as you usually get in the spring season. Thanks for watching and listening to Day Weather Podcast. Have a good Thursday. We'll talk to you on Friday.